So today we will study the second chapter of history for the 9th standard. India, events after 1960. So here we will learn what happened after the year 1960. What are all the events that took place? First and foremost, India became independent in 1947 and India accepted the constitutional framework in 1950 and became a sovereign democratic nation. Here, sovereign democracy means a government that operates its own independent nation without interference from any foreign powers. The Indian society is multicultural and people of various languages, religions, ethnicities and castes live together. India has many cultures because there are many people living here, different religions, different cultures, different food styles. And here ethnicity means a social group with common national or cultural tradition, means a particular group which is having same cultures, same traditions, same religion. Then there are multiple such ethnicities, such groups living in India. In the initial period, that is just in the beginning, India had many issues to solve. Like इंडिया एक बहुत गरीब कंट्री थी, तो जो पॉवर्टी थी इंडिया में वो हमें कैसे हटाना है. So we had to do, the government had to do a lot of work regarding this. It had to be a successful country. The establishment of the Planning Commission of Industrialization was a means to achieve economic development. मतलब पैसे, हमारे देश में पैसे कैसे बढ़ाना. Successful conduct of elections and faith in democratic traditions made it possible for us to achieve political stability. At the same time, several social reforms, including policies, programs for the weaker sections of the society, was sought to be implemented. Now, what happened in the 1960s? First of all, Goa, Daman, Diu, all these three states were freed from the Portuguese rule. We can see here in the map Daman, Diu, and on the other side the map of Goa. These three states were free from the rule of the Portuguese. And on the other side, there were rising tensions between India and China on the northern border, which had been rising since 1950. And all this tension, after all this tension, there was a war between these two countries. This war was fought in the region of the McMahon line. And here in the picture, this yellow line which we can see, it's the McMahon line. It's at the border of Arunachal Pradesh and China. The war was fought in this region. After India became independent, Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru led the country. He was the architect of India's foreign policy. He contributed a lot towards the social and economic development of India, and he passed away in 1964. Here, architect means जो design करता है. So he designed India's foreign policy. After Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru passed away, Lal Bahadur Shastri became the next Prime Minister. During his tenure, means when the time he was the Prime Minister, India went to war over Kashmir issue in 1965. The Soviet Union. What is the meaning of Soviet Union? Soviet Union is a group of countries or organizations which come together, and they tried to settle disputes between India and China. But Lal Bahadur Shastri did not give in. He gave us the slogan Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, which highlighted the importance of the Indian soldiers and the Indian farmers. He passed away in 1966 in Tashkent, that is in the country of Uzbekistan. Next, Indira Gandhi became the Prime Minister of India in the year 1966 after Lal Bahadur Shastri. During her tenure, when she was the Prime Minister, Pakistan's oppressive policies in East Pakistan resulted in a big movement there, which was led by Sheikh Mujibur Rahman and his organization Mukti Baini. And this movement, whatever was going on, it resulted a crisis which affected India as well, because millions of refugees. Now refugees are people who come from different countries. They go from one country to the other country, because here these people came out of Pakistan to India because there were wars and there were fights which was going on. So they came to settle down in India, and millions of refugees came to India. What happened in the 1970s? In 1971, there was a war between India and Pakistan, which led to an independent country called Bangladesh. When this war, जब ये war हुआ, तब इनके बीच में Bangladesh was formed. This was the place which went separate, and they did not want to interfere in anything, and it got a separate country. Next, as a part of India's policy to use atomic energy for peaceful purposes, India carried out an underground test of an atomic device at Pokhran in Rajasthan in 1974. Also, in 1975, people of Sikkim voted for joining Indian Republic, and Sikkim became a state in the Indian Federation. During this time, the Allahabad High Court gave verdict that in 1974, Indira Gandhi, the then Prime Minister, had misused the government machinery during her election campaign. This led to nationwide protests and strikes. Here, क्या हुआ? अभी भी हम देख सकते हैं जब इलेक्शन होता है, then there is some type of things that are carried out for extra votes. नो मशीन में फॉल्ट होता है या कुछ इधर उधर हो जाता है. सो सेम वैसे ही हुआ था. तो इसके वजह से बहुत सारे प्रोटेस्ट और स्ट्राइक शुरू हो गए. ड्यूरिंग दिस डिस्टर्बिंग पीरियड द फंडामेंटल राइट्स ऑफ सिटीजन्स वर सस्पेंडेड. दिस नेशनल इमरजेंसी लास्टेड फ्रॉम 1975 टू 1977. ये बहुत देर तक ऐसा चलते गया. After all this, elections were conducted. And changes that happened during this period, let's see. During this emergency period, many opposition parties came together and together formed a party. Okay, ये सब जब झगड़ा चल रहा था, strikes चल रहा था, तो there were many organization, opposition parties, no? कांग्रेस का मिनिस्टर था, तो बहुत सारे ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस, अपोजिशन पार्टीज एक साथ आए और उन्होंने एक पार्टी फॉर्म की जिनका नाम था द जनता पार्टी. एंड द कांग्रेस पार्टी वाज देन डिफीटेड बाय द न्यूली फॉर्म्ड जनता पार्टी. Morarji Desai became the prime minister, but under his leadership, the Janta party couldn't last long because of internal differences. उनके बीच में जो मिनिस्टर्स थे, उनके बीच में अच्छा संबंध नहीं चल रहा था, तो वो ज्यादा टाइम तक मिनिस्टर नहीं रह सका. सो द गवर्नमेंट ड्रॉप. चरण सिंह वॉज द नेक्स्ट, बट हिज गवर्नमेंट ऑल्सो वॉज वेरी शॉर्ट लिव्ड. In 1980, elections were conducted once again. और इस बार कांग्रेस पार्टी under the leadership of Indira Gandhi came into power again. Now what happened in the years during 1980s? During this decade, India faced many new challenges. बहुत सारे new challenges का सामना करना पड़ा. जैसे कि the Sikhs in Punjab demanded an independent state of Khalistan and began a movement which became very violent. बहुत सारे strikes, मारा मारी, मारने लगे एक दूसरे को, बहुत सारा वायलेंस हो गया था. उनको सेपरेट, लाइक हाउ वी गॉट दिस country of Bangladesh and all, they wanted a separate state of Khalistan only for themselves, only the Sikhs of Punjab. And this became very violent and destructive. The Indian army was sent into the Golden Temple in Amritsar so that this all comes to an end. आर्मी को इधर क्यों भेजा? Because in the temple of Amritsar, terrorists had taken their hideout. So this army was sent to the Golden Temple just to fight them and free the place. So when this became violent and destructive, the Indian army was sent to the Golden Temple of Amritsar because the terrorists had taken a hideout in the temple. One of the Sikh bodyguards in Indira Gandhi's personal security assassinated her. उसने उसकी हत्या कर दी. An organization called United Liberation of Front of Assam, that is ULFA, carried on a major movement in the northeast India. After Indira Gandhi was assassinated in 1984, Rajiv Gandhi became the Prime Minister of India. During this period, Rajiv Gandhi faced a lot of criticism in contest to the corruption that took place. अभी कैसे होता है? अभी जो भी corruption होता है हम गवर्नमेंट पे ब्लेम करते हैं. तो सेम that way it happened here. जो भी corruption होता था उसकी ब्लेम गवर्नमेंट पे आती थी. तो राजीव गांधी को बहुत सारे प्रॉब्लम्स फेस करने पड़े. वन ऑफ द थिंग ही वाज ब्लेम्ड वाज, यू कैन सी इन दिस पिक्चर, these are called cannons. Okay, the purchase of long range cannons from a foreign company called Bofors. तो इधर पैसा का कुछ तो घोटाला हुआ, ऐसे ब्लेम्स आए उस पे. He also took the lead in solving the issues of the Tamil minority in Sri Lanka. He promoted the idea of united Sri Lanka with internal autonomy to the Tamil community, but all his efforts in this regard proved to be in vain. And the Congress party was defeated again. Several political parties formed coalition, means एक साथ आए फिर से, called, and these parties, all these parties, this group of these parties was called Janata Dal, and Vishwanath Pratap Singh became the next Prime Minister. His most important contribution was providing reservations for the other backward classes. In 1990, Chandrasekhar became the Prime Minister. So this point, the most important contribution about the OBC classes was, OBC जो other backward classes के लोग हैं उनको कुछ सम्मान नहीं था या उनको jobs नहीं मिलते थे. They did not have the right to live with dignity. So his contribution towards these people was the biggest contribution that he did. He reserved many places for the OBC classes, and which we can still see today. In 1990, Chandrasekhar became the Prime Minister of India, and in 1991, during an election campaign, the terrorist organization in Sri Lanka, Liberation Tigers of Tamil, that is ELAM, assassinated Rajiv Gandhi. By the end of this decade, the unrest in Jammu and Kashmir started, and this problem grew serious day by day, and today it has taken the form of terrorism. Changes after 1991. This year is held to be very important in the history of the world as well as India. The Soviet Union disintegrated. Disintegrated means to break up into several small parts. So this union disintegrated into several small countries and the Cold War came to an end. Here, what is a Cold War? Cold War is a state of conflict, झगड़ा जो different nations के साथ होता है, but it doesn't involve any fights, any military action, but it is directly pursued through economic and political actions. Like हम उसके साथ व्यापार नहीं करेंगे, business नहीं करेंगे. So that is called a Cold War. There are no fights. Under the leadership of Prime Minister P.V. Narasimha Rao, there were many changes in the Indian economy. The Ram Janmabhoomi and Babri Mosque issue at Ayodhya came into forefront. Now, what is this issue about? So there was this, people believed that Babri Masjid was a mosque in Ayodhya, India, at a site believed by Hindus to be the birthplace of Hindu deity Rama. And there have been disputes between Hindu and Muslims since the 18th century. हिंदू लोगों को ऐसे लगा कि जिधर पे उनका मॉस्क है उधर एक छोटा सा टेम्पल था और उधर उनका जो भगवान है रामा, लॉर्ड रामा, उसका उधर जन्म हुआ था. तो मुस्लिम लोगों ने वो टेम्पल तोड़ के अपना मॉस्क बनाया. तो ये झगड़ा बहुत सारे साल तक चलता रहा. फिर फाइनली द कोर्ट लॉक्ड द होल एरिया, पूरा एरिया बंद कर दिया जहाँ पे मॉस्क था. मॉस्क बंद करने के बाद भी बहुत सारे झगड़े हो गए. उन्होंने जो हिंदू एक्टिविस्ट थे जो उसके खिलाफ झगड़ा कर रहे थे, आवाज उठा रहे थे, तो उन्होंने वो जो सील किया था वो तोड़ के बहुत सारा नुकसान किया और अराउंड 2000 people lost their lives in this. So the Supreme Court finally gave an order, and there were many archaeologists who studied about it, and they came to a solution that they said that there was a small temple which was broken by the Muslims and a mosque was built there. So the court gave permission to the Hindus, to the Hindu community, to build a temple over there, and 1/3 of the part of the area was given to the Muslims to build their mosque. In the elections conducted between 1966 and 1999, no political party got a clear majority in the Lok Sabha. This resulted in 3 governments in a short span of time. ये जो elections हुए थे, जो वोट का नंबर होता है वो ठीक से एक जैसा ही आ रहा था, तो 3 साल तक थोड़ा सा टाइम के स्पेन में 3 गवर्नमेंट चेंज हो गए थे. अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी, H.D. Devgowda and Inder Kumar Gujral were amongst them. These were the 3 governments which lived in a short span of time during this period, during 1966 to 1999. In 1999, the National Democratic Alliance came to power under BJP, and Atal Bihari Vajpayee became India's Prime Minister. India conducted a number of nuclear tests in 1988 and declared herself as an atomic power. In 1999, there was another war between India and Pakistan in Kargil region over Kashmir issue. India defeated Pakistan in this war. Next slide, we can see few pictures. These are the pictures of the war when it took place, and we can see here this is the Kargil line. So this is where the war was fought. Indian economy. India wanted to acquire, means gain, modernity and self-reliance. Modernity means हमें मॉडर्न बनना था और आत्मनिर्भर बनना था. दूसरों देशों पर हमें डिपेंड नहीं होना था. Like by starting up new industries. The Narasimha Rao government started economic reforms. Reforms means सुधार करने लगा from the year 1991. These reforms are called as economic liberalization. The foreign investment in India increased. जो foreign countries थे, they started investing a lot in India. Skilled Indian professionals helped to reform. जो हमारे इंडिया में जो बहुत स्किल्ड लोग थे, उन्होंने इंडिया को सुधारने में बहुत हेल्प किया. The changes after 1991 are also described as globalization. Let's see the changes that happened in science and technology. Dr. M.S. Swaminathan is known as the father of the Green Revolution in India. He started new scientific agricultural techniques and increased the production of food grains. The experiment in cooperative dairy movement by Dr. Verghese Kurien led to increase in milk production in India, and this movement is called as the White Revolution. India also made a lot of progress in atomic energy and space research. Dr. Homi Bhabha laid the foundation of the Indian Atomic Power Program. And India insisted on using atomic energy for peaceful purposes like generation of electricity. We all know that atomic energy can be very harmful. You can bombard a city or country, but here India insisted that we will use the atomic energy only for peaceful purposes, like example, to generate electricity. India also achieved success in space technology in 1975, and the first satellite, Aryabhatta, was launched. Here in the pictures we can see Dr. Verghese Kurien, Dr. M.S. Swaminathan, and here is Dr. Homi Bhabha, and that is the center which he set up. Let's see the changes in social field. Now looking at these pictures here, we can guess that it was something about women and based child development. So here, empowerment of women to promote the all-round development of women and children. A separate Department of Women and Child Development was created in 1985 under the Ministry of Human Resources, and there were some laws which were made to make sure that women got justice. First is the Prohibition of Dowry Act, which was passed in 1961, and here in the picture we can see. The next is Equal Remuneration Act that was passed in 1976. This act means जहाँ पे हम नौकरी करते हैं वहाँ पे there are some places still where woman is considered as at a lower this, but here this act was passed that जो काम एक लड़का करता है या जो काम एक लड़की सेम काम करती है तो उनको सेम सैलरी मिलनी चाहिए, उतना ही पगार मिलना चाहिए. पगार में डिफरेंस नहीं होना चाहिए अगर सेम काम कर रहे हैं तो. And the next is seats reserved for women in the local self-government bodies. equal rights to Indian society deprived of dignity due to their low caste. बहुत सारे केसेस हम देखते हैं कि अगर दलित है या ओबीसी है उनको सम्मान नहीं मिलता है या उनको अच्छी सी नौकरी नहीं मिलती है, तो यहाँ पे there were laws passed to give equal rights to these deprived classes of OBC or the other deprived classes, the low caste. The government passed the Prevention Atrocities Act in 1989 to make sure that the people belonging to scheduled classes, that is the SC and the ST, the SC scheduled tribes and the scheduled caste, to live with dignity. Dignity मतलब सम्मान से और respect से, and free from fear, free from violence and oppression of the upper classes. Oppression मतलब किसी को हम नीचा दिखाते हैं ना, तो लो कास्ट का है या मैं हाई कास्ट का हूँ, so to stop that. Next we come to globalization. Globalization is the process of interaction and integration among people, companies and governments worldwide. We can see here जो interactions होते हैं, बातचीत होती है companies के between और governments के between. Globalization brought many changes in different fields like economy. Economy means we all know in terms of money. Politics, science and technology, and society and culture. There were many changes. India has emerged as an important country on the global scene in different spheres. India is an important member of international organizations like the G20. You can see here, we can see the Indian flag in this picture. And also BRICS. Now what is G20? G20 is a group of 20 governments. That is, it's an international forum of the governments and central bank governors from 19 countries and the European Union. Next we have BRICS. BRICS is a group of 5 major emerging countries, and that is Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa, which together represent about 42% of the population, 23rd of the GDP, 30% of the territory and 18% of the global trade. India has experienced an important revolution in the field of telecommunication technology also. What is telecommunication? It is the exchange of signs, signals, messages, words, writings, images and sounds or information of any nature by wire, radio, optical or other electromagnetic systems. Telecommunication occurs when the exchange of information between communication participants includes the use of technology. We can see in the pictures here, we all know about internet. Okay, it helps us to connect with the people worldwide. Mobile phones, internet and the communication facilities based on satellite have spread all across the country. In the political field, India has demonstrated to the world how a stable democracy can function successfully. All this has resulted in a total transformation in the lifestyle of Indians and especially the youth. These changes are visible from their dietary habits, that is the food habits, clothing, language and beliefs. And in the next chapter, we are going to study some internal changes before India.